he sent down Safir al-Anbiya, the ambassador of the prophets. He sent down Jibreel alayhi salam to tell the prophet before he came to him. He said, Prophet, the guy that you asked to go and call his father, the Sahabi that you asked to go and call his father, when he comes, he will say, I heard him, Allah heard him saying something in his heart. Allah sent me down to tell you, when he comes back, tell him, when he comes back to you with his son, ask him to recite when he was reciting to you. Upon arrival, the prophet asked him to recite the poem. He was so flabbergasted, he was surprised, he was amazed. Why the prophet, he said, actually, Allah actually sent Jibreel to tell me to ask you to recite when you were reciting. He recited to the prophet what he was saying. He said, oh, I fed you when you were young through the light. This actually is an attribute of our minds. The poem, actually, when you listen to the poem, it's actually attributed to our minds, what our minds went through. It was like, I fed you when you were young through the umbilical cord. You know, those of us who are studying science, we know what is umbilical cord. Actually, like a thread that actually, whenever our mothers, when they are pregnant, whenever they eat, and we get feed, we get our food from the umbilical cord. And whilst you were turning in my stomach, I cannot sleep. And when I delivered you, I cannot sleep. Crying when you are sick, I cannot sleep. And I went through all difficulties just to see you become a full-fledged human being. But woe betides you if you disobey me and disrespect me. As I said, I'm trying to paraphrase. I'm not because for the sake of time. When he recited the poem to the prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Ya bunayya, ma min hajarin wala shajarin wala matarin illa wa yabki li ali abik." That there is no a body of water, a sea water. There is no tree. There is no mountain. All those mountains are crying just because of the plight of your father. Because you refuse to obey your father. All these creatures of Allah are crying for the sake of that. And the Prophet says, Ya bunayya, anta wa maluka li abika. Eat ma shi'ta min malik, fa anta maluka li abika. Fa anta wa maluka li abika. That please give what your father requested out of your money. For you and your money belongs to your father. This particular incident is one of the reasons that I decided to come on with this book. Briefly to tell you, I've seen there are a lot of stories that I brought in the book. I structured it in such a way that it involves 10 chapters. The first chapter begins with miracles of pregnancy and childbirth, what our mothers go through when they become pregnant. I started right from 10 days. 10 days after pregnancy, what the sort of changes, transformation that happens in within their system, physiologically, psychologically, and physically. Why they can't sleep. All of us, like those of us who are fathers, we know when they can't sleep. You understand? Look at the pain after delivery. Look at the pains they go through. When you are sick, they can't sleep. They sacrifice their food just to feed you. And especially back home in Africa. And the second chapter talks about their role after pregnancy, the role they actually undertake or embark upon to see us grow up in a very responsible, as responsible adults. Then the third chapter is entitled "The Role of Mothers in the Life," the influence of mothers in the life of prominent Islamic scholars. Over here I mentioned like Imam al-Muhaddithin, especially the four, Imam Bukhari, Imam Muslim, Imam Bukhari, Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal, Imam Malik, Imam Dar al-Hijra. But for Imam Bukhari, just to tell you briefly, brothers, as I mentioned in the book, Imam Bukhari, he lost his father when he was young. His mother took the entire responsibility of bringing him in up. She brought him up when he was actually, as a toddler, he was blind. Allah actually tested his mother for tested him with blindness when he was young. So his mother, she was so worried about his situation. She was crying in the court of Allah. She was making qiyamul layl. She was making qiyamul layl, crying. So one night, it so happened that she had a dream with Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. She had a dream, and Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam told her in the dream that Allah has decided to restore back the eyesight of your son, Imam Bukhari, because of your powerful, what do you call it, prayer and contemplation that you embark upon every day to see him become wake up with what do you call it, with full eye to see. And all you know, this dream, what happened the next day, Imam Bukhari wake up with glimmers of light in his eyes. Imam, upon her prayer and upon the dream she had, Imam Bukhari began to see. And there are, before I conclude, because there's not too much time left, I don't want to prolong too much time. Let me give you two examples in the book. One is the example of someone who obeyed his parents and what happened to him. It so happened that during the time of Prophet Musa alayhi salam, right? And we know Prophet Musa alayhi salam, brothers and sisters, Prophet Musa alayhi salam asked Allah, you know, he's Kalimullah. When we say Kalimullah, he communicates directly to Allah. So he asked Allah, Allah, show me my friend in Jannah, the one who is going to be with me in Jannah. And Allah actually told Prophet Musa to go to one of the villages. He's going to see a man walking to enter a house with food items, holding food items on his shoulders. So when he changed the bag and the guy, they went to the house, they went inside the house. The guy actually prepared food, he prepared food, right? That servant of Allah prepared food and he brought his sick mother who was too old. He fed her, he cleaned her and put her back to rest. So whilst Prophet Musa alayhi salam was looking at him whilst he was performing his duties, he said, he asked him, even though he knows he's a stranger, he never asked him his mission. He never asked Prophet Musa his mission. So Prophet Musa said to him, what sort of prayer that your mother makes to you whenever you perform this duty? And she told Prophet Musa alayhi salam that she always say, Allahumma ij'al ibni rafiqa Musa fil Jannah. Allahumma ij'al ibni rafiqa Musa fil Jannah. That, oh Allah, make my son a friend or a neighbor of Musa alayhi salam in Jannah. And instantly, at that very spot, Musa alayhi salam told him, Musa alayhi salam, Allah sent me to tell you that He accepted the prayer of your mother. Allah sent me to tell you He accepted the prayer of your mother because of the service you rendered to your mother. And another example of another chapter that talks about disobedience, that talks about obedience, is of a case of a family. A couple that left Middle East, they brought their mother who was sick in the United States for medical attention. It so happened that the husband was his mother and the daughter was her mother-in-law. And they were so concerned, crying. The nurse in the hospital, there was one nurse in the hospital, she actually looked at the woman crying so bad, bitterly, and she asked her, why? Well, you told me that's not your real mother. That's not your blooded mother. Why are you crying so much? He said, you don't know the value of mothers, especially in my religion. She began to tell her about what Islam says about the role of mothers and fathers. And for all you know, to conclude, this woman, after this story, after this encounter, she went to one of the Islamic centers in the USA. She requested for literature, a book that talks about the right of parents in Islam. Already she became a Muslim. Takbir! Takbir! In this book, the woman, the nurse who was a Muslim, because of the encounter that she saw, and she developed interest, she went away further about Islam, and she became a Muslim. Just because of the role that they played, the sort of sympathy and empathy that they exhibited for their mother, it resulted in a non-Muslim becoming a Muslim. They did a shahada in a disguised manner. And they did a dawah, sorry. It's a dawah that they did. The crime that you mentioned is a form of dawah. And they embrace Islam. Just to, since I have the copies, I'm going to leave the copies to your teachers over here and your parents, inshallah. But